It's Miles.
It's Tr3bel.
It's the Make It Make Sense podcast.
Yay.
Tr3bel, how are you?
I'm good. How about yourself, my brother?
I'm getting better, man. I'm getting better. If I sound a little bassy, a little sexier than normal, it's because I just got my voice back a little bit. Florida here, we get weird sicknesses that only Floridians get. So I'm kicking that. I'm gonna try to not be low energy, and I'm glad you don't have it.
Yeah, I don't get sick.
This moment.
I'm built different. We're gonna talk about that a little later, though. Not necessarily about me necessarily, just being built different, but we'll get to it.
All right.
As for now, though, I do remember you saying last episode, the last episode that got taken down. So y'all might not have seen episode 11. Episode 11. There was some things on it, kind of like episode 7. If you notice, there's no episode 7 on this channel. YouTube took that down. Episode 11, they wasn't really happy with it either. So we'll end up giving out y'all little bits and pieces of it so y'all can catch glimpses. But yeah, during episode 11, we did talk about how each one of us needed to go do a little research. He wanted me to watch Ready Player One.
Yes.
I wanted him to watch Ender's Game. So tell me how you liked Ender's Game, man.
Man, I was really impressed. And I didn't know at first exactly what to expect. Because I mentioned Ready Player One, I thought it was going to be more like a Ready Player One. Yeah. But no, it's for anybody that hasn't seen it, essentially it's a phenom of a kid. Is it a spoiler? Should I?
Yeah, I don't know. You could give a synopsis.
Yeah, a general overview. Essentially,
people need to watch it, I think.
Yes. Yeah, definitely watch it. It's essentially there's something in place that wouldn't say farming, but trying to test kids to do something that they weren't exactly aware that they were doing. And it's very eye-opening, and it's very to me, it seems like something that could definitely happen,
especially in this day and age. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty positive it's based on a book that came out a while ago. Okay. So shout out to Ender's Game and it being a dope movie. I ended up watching Ready Player One.
Yes.
By your suggestion. I had seen a lot about it. I'm not one of those people. I don't really just jump on bandwagons like that.
That one seemed like it was built for you. That shocks me that you didn't immediately.
You know how many times I've been depressed by movies I thought that were for me? I just go in there like, I'm finna love it. And it's like,
that's
what they did with it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so skeptical about if it looks like it's just right up my alley. I'd be like, I'm gonna wait to see what some of my people say about it first. Yeah. Then I check in, unless it's just something slam dunk that I know I gotta go see.
Okay.
So I did see it. I thought it was epic, and I thought it had a lot of the same kind of connotations as far as how important the message could be, especially in this modern time as Ender's Game. Again, I ain't gonna go too far into it for anybody who might not have seen Ready Player One. I'll just say that if you play games, if you've seen anything we've talked about in the past, it's definitely something you should watch, and you should open your thinking cap, man, because this whole metaverse world that we're going towards it's all in there. It's definitely cool to watch, though.
Yeah, and
entertainment wise, I liked it too.
Oh yeah. Visually, I think it was one of the big hitters, maybe Spielberg or one of them that did it. So like visually, it's amazing. And what even spawned the conversation was the Apple Vision Pro and how much that does seem to
play hand in hand with what happens.
Yeah. That's another art imitating reality, or how's that go?
Art imitating life.
Yeah. So it was pretty.
So, I think that was good. Another movie I watched recently was Dune. If you haven't watched that, bro, you should definitely.
A little bit back.
No, the new. Yeah, well, they came out with a new Dune like a couple years ago.
Are you saying Doom or Dune?
Dune, Dune. It was an old movie, old books.
Yeah.
And then like they just came out with a newer one a couple years ago, and then the new one dropping like later this year.
What is that about? I've heard of it and never looked into it.
Me either, bro. I'll just say it goes into kind of what I wanted to talk about with the StarSeed situation.
Okay.
Like this is for all of those who know we think outside of the box here, whether you believe in extraterrestrials or not. that's up to you. I just don't think there's no way we're the only life form living.
Agreed.
With that being said, Dune is like set way in the future, and you have like the House of Atreides, which is like the most famous house that they mention a lot.
Okay.
Like it gets a lot of like adages mentioned about it throughout like folklore and shit.
So
like,
these are things that have been actually mentioned in real life, or is it
no,
all...
Dune, the original movie, to my knowledge, was just that impactful. The original book and the movies were like, because the book, it was like 6 books.
Oh.
And then like the movie they came out with years ago was just like so impactful that like people, it's kind of like its own Star Trek, for lack of better words. It's just not a show, but I loved it. But they talk about, you know, different extraterrestrial races and, you know, them kind of fighting over their own like resources and goods. And, you know, you have your main character and all of the stuff that happens in that. Like, you should definitely check that one out.
Dune.
I think it's pretty dope.
Okay.
Pretty dope.
Where do you watch that on?
It was on Hulu.
Oh,
it was on Hulu. Yeah.
Got it. All right.
And
cool.
it was really good. So yeah.
Damn, I got to think of one for you to watch. I don't get to watch a lot of movies. I think if you haven't seen it, I think the original Doctor Strange.
I seen all of the Doctor Strange.
Oh, you seen them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Doctor Strange is definitely up my alley for sure.
Yeah. I'll think of something. I'll watch Dune, and if I think of something, I'll let you know. And then we'll do it. But the Starseed thing you talked about, what exactly is that all about?
Okay, so Starseed is kind of like, the conversation about starseeds is along the lines of astrology.
Okay.
It's more rooted in the idea that some people, I believe we talked about Dolores Cannon and interplanetary souls on an older episode.
Yeah.
I think that was episode 10. If not, y'all let us know in the comments, because I know y'all be watching, so let us know. But the whole idea of some souls not being from Earth originally.
Okay.
And some people, you know, because I think we all who watch this show, all of us to some degree, and if you don't, well, you'll eventually come along this mindset that we're a spirit that operates this body. Our body isn't us. You know what I mean? So
bodies of avatar or a vessel or whatever you want to call it.
Exactly. So your spirit is you. That's like what makes you do the stuff you do. That's what keeps you alive. Boom. So
that kind of scared me. I didn't know what that was.
Chop it in. So with that being said, that interplanetary soul idea flows right into the starseed idea, where they start like pinpointing and saying, okay, these people have these kind of characteristics, and they say they're from this type of a planet. It looks like this. It looks like, so they start marking everything down, and then they start pinpointing like race names and things like that.
Okay.
And basically, the idea is that some people feel like they don't belong here, and they might have a home elsewhere and things like that. There might be a lot of people feel like their diet might be weird compared to other people's. Their sleeping habits might be weird compared to the average person they know.
Okay.
And this idea is that your soul might not even be originally from Earth, and this is why you have those differences.
Wow. And so how would, in this scenario, the soul be in this fleshy earth vessel?
Because souls, we know you can never destroy or create energy. Like energy is energy itself. So your spirit always lives. It doesn't die. Even if you believe in heaven and hell, it's going to go to one of those places for eternity, it said. But we also know that a spirit has to come down and incarnate a baby in order for it to actually become a baby and live. At some point, that has to happen.
That's the merging point, you would say, is at birth, it merges with the soul or the energy.
I think it happens before birth. But
or inception, maybe not like the physical.
I think it happens when the heartbeat starts. That spirit kind of is like, all right, boom, it's life now. I gotta go. That's my theory. That's not proven or anything.
Sure.
But what has been proven though is that we all know that, you know, that old adage of when you die, the lights go out. That kind of concept. The light is the spirit inside of you, and we all know that. Like, in order for anybody to live, you gotta have a spirit and it's good spirits, it's bad spirits,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately everybody comes out innocent. They come out good spirited,
Yeah.
and then over the course of life, you get introduced to different things and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what'll happen is you might have a spirit that has lived for a few thousand years, a couple of lifetimes, but it's spent a different time on a different planet.
Okay.
You might not be aware of it. To my knowledge, everybody who's talked about this in depth, they explain the great mishap where everybody forgets it when they first come to this earth, because earth is considered like soul school, where you come here to learn, you come here to finish your path as the soul before you can move on to the higher ranks of souls and living in different dimensions. So this is like what they talk about with the have you ever heard of the 14 Lokas, 13 Lokas?
Was that in the tablets?
No, that is kind of. Thoth talks about it to a degree,
Like traveling to the different dimensions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in like Hinduism, I believe it is, like the Indians, like in India, they believe in the 14 Lokas. And they believe that there's 14 worlds, 7 worlds above us, 7 worlds beneath us.
Oh.
This also is talked about in Dante's Inferno. There are 7 circles of hell. The Divine Comedy, they say there are 7 circles of heaven. Stuff like this. So this is a very common concept, but on each level of dimension, you have different souls that can be there based on their vibration. So from studies and what I've understood, the path of the soul is to try to reach a high enough vibration to get access to those levels. Earth is one of those base levels where they come to be benevolent, teach people how to grow, be artists, do things that change humanity for the better, and so on and so forth.
It sounds like then with Christianity, I think Catholicism, where there's a heaven and hell. Like, is that another representation of a dimension? Maybe they just think surface level, this dimension and that one, but there's actually more.
I'm glad that you said that, bro. That is a terrific question, because a lot of people read the Bible, a lot of people hear about the Bible, but they don't really like read it. Like in the Bible, especially the King James version, which is the closest to original translation you're ever gonna get. They talk about there being multiple levels of hell in there. But there's a book that was taken out called the Book of Enoch. They mention Enoch in Genesis.
Yeah, they do mention him. Yeah.
So, but he had a book. It was taken out. In there, he goes crazy about stuff that you're just like, why did they take this out? Wow. But it was taken out during Caesar's rule in Rome. Yeah. Where they eventually was persecuting a lot of Christians, and then they decided to take on Christianity. They decided there were certain books that couldn't be in the book anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus. And how did the Enoch versions get discovered? That's probably a loaded
It was
question.
in the original text. So where they were translating it from, because it was originally, I think the Bible was originally Greek. Or originally Hebrew. It was originally Hebrew, to my knowledge. Then it got translated to Greek, then English. Like, so in this process, there were books taken out, and for that reason, there were things in those books that were just like, okay, if this is what we're going to be going with as the story, how does this make sense?
Yeah.
So
it's funny. Speaking of being seated, LeBron James made a. No, actually, LeBron James did say, he said, quote, Victor Wembanyama is a straight up alien. Now, it was probably tongue in cheek. I mean, I think artificial intelligence can make jokes. So, but that sounds like some seeding type of thinking in his mind too, or.
I think it's just that time frame where I think the alien term is like the highest endearment you can have as an athlete.
Instead of saying a freak.
Yeah, it's like you're an alien, like you're just something totally different. Yeah. But that he's not human and all of that kind of stuff has definitely been happening a lot more in basketball, and I think they're telling us something.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily per se see that in Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And Wemby, I just I do feel like those celebs say certain things publicly as a like, how would I say it? Like, just as a
like an Easter egg to almost like kind of like pepper the truth out there.
Yeah, I'm looking for the word that I'm looking for. I can't just whatever. It's kind of like a distraction, for lack of better words.
Okay.
Or not even a distraction. That's the wrong word. A smoke screen. Or damn.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're saying they say one thing but trying to distract from another.
Desensitize. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
desensitize you
close,
to
bro.
use. Yeah, desensitize you.
Smoke screen. I think you have a smoke screen right now over there. That's what the problem is.
Hey, bro, maybe I need to like this shit again. Nonetheless.
But yeah, I think I've heard that about movies, like entertainment. Like they show you all these things to where you're like, whenever you see it in real life, you're like, how all of a sudden aliens are aircrafts are being. Basically, they're like, yeah, they're here. They're already here. But we're like, well, I mean, aliens attack, blah, blah,
bro,
blah.
I just seen on CNBC, I believe it was. I forget the black guy's name that was doing the that does like the hosting of it. But he was like, yeah, soon Earth expects contact from a mothership.
What?
Like he says this. And when I seen it online, I thought it was one of those like doctor videos. I look it up. I'm scouring the internet to find it because it didn't make it easy to find. But he definitely said it.
Wow.
But the Space Force is out there.
I was going to say, is SpaceForce handling this? Is that what they do? You ever seen the movie Spaceballs? You ever seen that before?
No, I haven't.
That's what you got to watch. It's called, it's by Mel Brooks. It's a comedy. It's a take on Star Wars and all that, but it's hilarious.
It's like a parody comedy.
It's a parody. Yeah.
I like that kind of shit.
Spaceballs. All right, cool. But yeah, Space Force, yeah.
So yeah, bro, like, what do they do? I don't fully know. I just know that, like, I was talking to some of my people the other day, and I'm like, that Space Force is a legitimate sixth branch of the military government.
They are. They have their own song. Like, I heard that recently, like the dun 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 dun, the stupid shit.
Holy shit.
They got their own, it's official.
Probably stole that shit. Never, I ain't gonna say that. But nonetheless, it's crazy because I just started getting people to understand, like, there's things called PSYOPs, like psychological operatives. Like, you can sign up to be one of these in the military. Like,
all right, refresh everybody on what that is.
I can't go too in depth right this second because that's going to take me too far down a path. I ain't going to go on this episode, but we are going to talk about these kind of things because, like, although I like talking about extraterrestrials and all of the above, we got to talk about this kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless, you have psychological operatives that do all kind of crazy things, like, and they're not very open about what they do, but when you look up what a PSYOP is and you do your research, you start to find out some things that you're like, holy, wait, what? Like,
is that considered like an agent? Would that be another, like a synonym for a PSYOP?
To a degree, you have two types of PSYOPs. I can't say this. You have a psychological operative, and you have a PSYOP event, where it is a psychological event put on display where you believe something happened that did not actually happen.
Is that,
or it did not happen in the way you think it happened.
Like a Mandela effect, they call it?
To a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
But it can create a Mandela effect.
Sure.
To where now your entire reality is shifted and you're like, wait, hold on, what?
Yeah.
You don't know what's real anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. They like scramble your mind. And do you think, are you talking about them because of Space Force? You think they're part of that, whatever Space Force is?
Well, I think that Space Force has to be another level higher of intelligence. Like, what are they learning? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at what Bob Lazar was talking about and guys like Phil Snyder, my God, if you guys like to hear anything controversial, look up Phil Snyder. I hope I don't get in trouble for telling y'all to look that up. Nonetheless, look them up. At the end of the day, this stuff is coming out. It can't help but come out. It gotta come out, you know? So in the reality, they're so far past what we know or what we willing to accept. Like, something like the Space Force can be put out and people don't even bat an eye. Like, what the fuck is the Space Force doing every day?
It sounds so dorky. I don't think people even pay attention to it. The Space Force sounds like
they launched a show right afterwards called the Space Force.
Oh, it was with Steve Carell or whatever.
It makes it sound quirky as fuck, but no, it's real, motherfucker.
Yeah, are they Are they over there by NASA in Florida?
Yeah, they working. They do a lot of their missions over there. Like, so when I was working at my old job, and I used to work in the machines, there's like this weather channel that a lot of the trucks and the machines listen to. And they'll give like a SpaceForce like countdown when they're about to do like a SpaceForce launch or some shit.
Okay.
But they'll say shit.
Are you
like,
thinking of SpaceForce or SpaceX?
No, SpaceForce.
Okay.
I'm telling you, because when I first heard it, it tripped me out. I was like, did I just say the SpaceForce? Wow. So I turned the radio up, and it's like, do not, if you are coming from southwest area, you are not allowed within 10 miles of this area. Coming from northeast, you are not allowed within 25 miles of this area. Like, what the fuck y'all got going on? Wow. What about the people that live there?
Yeah. That's interesting. So I recently went and saw a launch at Kennedy Space Center, and I saw it twice, and I was the only one my daughter saw it the second time. Dude, we're driving. So for anybody that's never been here in Florida, it's Cape Canaveral, right? That's what it's called. So that's where we have NASA. That's where the official NASA, they got all the old shuttles. It's the real deal NASA. And to get there, you have to drive this super long bridge thing over this giant body of water. And to the right, there's all these buildings. Right now, there's actually a lot of construction, so you can't even like access them. But anyways, bunch of buildings. I drive by, I look over, there's a tank just patrolling, right? And I go, I'm trying, and my girls are asleep in the car. I'm like, hey, wake up. I'm like, did you see the tank? And they're like, no. And I'm like, all right. And so I met a buddy there. I'm telling him about it. He's like, what is the building? What is it called? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like,
I don't care either right now. It's a tank over there.
Yeah. And I'm like, maybe I was tripping. Maybe it's like a automated entrance design. I don't know. I was like, I couldn't have seen it. I know I couldn't have seen it. Dude, I drive back. And it's not like a spring-loaded like display like wavy hand. It's a real tank. And my daughter saw it that time with me, and I'm like, why is there a tank just cruising around in front of this building? And the building had some like nothing important sounding name to it. It was really bizarre. And now that you're seeing SpaceForce is there, that makes a lot more sense.
Hell yeah, y'all can't know what's in this motherfucker,
dude. I mean, a tank is threatening, bro, when you see that thing.
One time I was doing tree work. We had to go out of town. Mm-hmm. We're in the middle of South Carolina. We're trying to go to North Carolina. It's the middle of the night. We pull off, go get to this little fucking, like we see this gas station off. I couldn't think of the name for a second, but it looked big. It's almost like a truck stop. Mm-hmm. So we see it off in the distance. He like, yo, we gonna stop right there. If y'all got to piss, y'all better go in the woods and do it now. We got to go straight to North Carolina from here. Yeah. So we pull the truck as we getting closer, bro. There's literal fucking military just out there.
Like dudes standing out there?
Yeah, but they're like got their military Humvees and shit. Oh. And then there's like this big ass, I don't even know what the fuck kind of truck it is, bro. This shit is massive. It's just sitting over there. Uh-huh. And we're like, why are they at this gas station? Mm-hmm. So then they're like kind of looking at us when we pull in. I'm like, yo, you sure this the only place we can stop?
I'm just gonna hold it, you know?
I'm finna check it out. Fuck it, we here. I got about 4 or 5 other people with me. We going in this motherfucker. Yeah. So they like looking around. We go to the door. We go in. We get drinks and shit. Uh-huh. But I swear to God, none of them came inside the store or anything. They're just sitting there.
So you were probably at Love's. That's like a gigantic...
It wasn't Love's, though. I know what you mean, but it was weird because I never seen it. But it was South Carolina. Oh, we're like on a back street. Like, it's dark as fuck. Like, I can't for the love of you, bro. This shit was weird. Like, we didn't even know they were there until we pull up. Yeah. Bro, this massive ass fucking shit sitting there. And in my head, I'm just like, bro, what are they doing with this right now? Yeah. It's like 1 in the morning.
Yeah, here, 1 in the morning... Why?
And they all in full fucking gear. They looking at us like, the fuck are they doing here?
Yeah. It sounded like they were waiting on something, but it wasn't you.
Yeah, nah, I've seen some shit. I learned that you just got to keep it moving, player.
For real, man. For real, man. Oh, my goodness. Well, to kind of switch gears onto something here, there's one thing that I'm noticing that with everybody, every person... is the fact that they are being very attached, or I should say addicted to being virtually connected with people, meaning, like we mentioned, people love watching YouTube lives or these different lives.
Yeah.
And I was talking to another buddy actually earlier today, talking about how we constantly have like podcasts on, and when he tries to go to sleep, he tries to put like, it's always some sort of sound. Even going back to when my dad, he has to sleep with the TV on because he feels lonely without the TV. Like, what do you think is going on with that? Because most of existence, we didn't have that, but now, I don't know about you. For me, it's hard for me to have a lot of silence unless I force it. But I catch myself just randomly just listening to something. I'm like, when did I even turn this on? Like, where did this come from?
So me, I am like the virtual opposite at this point. Like
I had a feeling.
Like
you just float Indian style with incense.
No, but I like, dog, like in my spare time, like I like to sit in some type of sun or some type of outside. Like,
No, I agree.
Sit on the back patio.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I would listen to stuff sometimes, but like I like to listen to like the nature.
Birds and
I like to see shit like that. That's kind of into the starseed thing I was talking about earlier too. Like some people have these natural tendencies for different reasons that might go way back further, and might not even necessarily be because your soul is from a different planet. It might be in a past life you had this certain thing happen, and this now triggers this idea in this life. Stuff like that. Things that happen when you're a kid that you don't even know is, programmed to doing.
Sure.
Like me, for instance, though, I love silence. But I learned to love silence early because I was the only kid for most of my life. And I had to make most of my fun. But my mom would be doing work late at night. She might have to get a phone call. So I got to figure out a way to do the same shit and not be loud.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It explains your creativity and like your imagination. Like it's very strong.
Yeah. So it's like that plays a part in certain people's roles. Like I got my little sister. She likes to sleep with the TV on.
Right.
Like my youngest, well, I won't say my youngest little sister, but I got a lot of little sisters, y'all. Nonetheless, one of my younger sisters, she like to sleep with the TV on. Me, I like silence, dark. My mom is like that too. Yeah. Like it's just silence, darkness, peace to me.
Let me ask you, do you like, it sounds like it doesn't matter. Do you like silence whether it's you're alone or with somebody else in the room, or is it harder when it's just you alone, silent in a room, or it doesn't matter either way?
Nah, see, I have like a very small limit of time where I can just give all of my energy to whoever I'm around and we can enjoy this moment as being a moment, but then I need to go recoup.
Yes.
And during that time, that's when I need silence.
Okay. Got it.
Like the most. I can take a whole day of silence, but I will go crazy over the course of time if I don't have some interaction with people.
Yeah. Oh, I was actually thinking more so like for me, if I'm sleeping alone, I definitely tend to I will put like something like I listen to like these hypnosis things and try what something going on. But when I'm not alone, I actually prefer silence. So maybe that for me is like a comfort, like
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Nah, like I still like silence at that point.
Yeah. And I think it shows, man. I just from talking to you so much now, you seem to have a pretty crystal clear stream of thought. It isn't herky-jerky. Like I think I'm a little bit more herky-jerky. Like my brain's going to different directions, and I got to kind of like piece it together. It seems like yours is more of a fluid stream of thought, which I think is because you've left space, because you can sit in silence, because you don't have to have a lot of stimuli. It allows your brain to process and regurgitate it in a much smoother, efficient way.
Practice, and then also like learning things about yourself, I think gives you a certain type of calmness. If you have a chance to go see a therapist and you feel like you need one, go do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't had that full opportunity, so I was searching things like I was saying the starseed, find out where I feel like my starseed is from. Like, am I a starseed? Am I in this shit? But I ended up finding solace in the things that I found. It would tell me certain things about myself that I'd be like, okay, all right, I get it. Okay, like being an Aquarius is something that a lot of people know about zodiac signs, but I studied it a lot because I was just like, every time I've met anybody, especially females, they be like, you a what? Aquarius is in trouble. But it's like, I don't I've not met that many Aquariuses in my life. Where do y'all even meet them? Shit, I want to meet some of them. But it's like stuff like that. Technically, it's the rarest sign in the zodiac just because it's
Aquarius?
in the smallest month. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
So it's harder to get,
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, it's certain things like that I explore more about myself. Like, I feel like I'm unique, but at the same time, I always felt different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, in a way where it's like, yo, why do I think like this? Then I started exploring the idea of reincarnation. Shout out to my pops. He kind of put me on that path of thinking to a degree.
Oh, did he?
Just to, follow that path of thought. If it's not where if it doesn't take you anywhere, you know how to get out the train.
Yeah.
I think some
That's
people
cool.
are afraid to follow certain paths because they feel like it's going to take them too far away. And some people don't have that kind of control, but they got to have the right people around you that'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? So
that's very cool that he did that, because I think a big thing that stops people from going down that path is fear of what they'll discover.
Yeah.
About themselves even.
Yeah. Like shit. Like, bro, you might have this crazy energy inside of you that you don't want to tell nobody about, and you don't know where it comes from. Like, for me, like, I'm extremely competitive. As chill as I am, like, I have a switch, but when that switch comes on, bro, it's just like I can't like turn that shit off. Like, and I learned things about aura and shit like that, and about like presence and stuff like that. And there'll be moments where it's like, nah, I'm not trying to be domineering. I don't want to be like, but it's just like the way my aura is hitting people is just like, no, you're
like, damn it.
So it's like, I gotta fight back, nigga. Like, and it turns into this whole thing that I never meant it to be, and it comes off as like this thing, and it's just like, what the hell? I end up having way more arguments sometimes than I ever admit to have, because it's not from what I'm trying to say. It's not from the energy it's coming off as all of the time.
Yeah.
So it's like having to learn how to control that, learn where that comes from. You know what I mean? And I learned that I have this killer instinct that is just like, hey, you got to acknowledge it. It's called shadow work. If you don't acknowledge your shit, it's going to fuck up everything. So you got to acknowledge it, you know what I mean? And then understand how to corral it, where to put it. That's why I play sports so much. I do music so heavily. And I take the competitive route, even though I love unity. I want to grow with everybody. I also want to be the best I can fucking be. Yeah. But that's just where I channel that energy to not put it in the wrong place.
Speaking of the wrong place, is that part of the reason why you don't drink? Because that's a big problem people have, is they lose the ability to control the channeling, and then they do some stuff and they're like, fuck, Yeah,
I had a moment. And it kind of like made me go, yeah, nah, never again like that. But I still have taken a couple of shots here and there. But it's just fucking nasty.
Have we ever taken a shot together?
But listen, it's fucking nasty. I just hate it.
All right, episode 13, he's taking shots.
Nah, bro. I've had to, like, when I was dating somebody before, and they like, nah, it's a party. You gotta at least take one shot. Right. Fireball.
You're like, this tastes like shit.
Everything is nasty. Every alcohol I've ever had.
Yeah.
Except God, what is it called? It's a Spanish drink. It's like white.
Espanol?
It's creamy. No, it's like a white, like cream, like, bro. Shit is
coconut rum
bussin'.
or something.
It's almost like that, bro. I can't think of the name of it offhand, but like they make it for like Christmas and they mix it. with like
eggnog?
No, it's not.
I was gonna say you're a psycho.
They like mix it with like cinnamon and like some heavy ass.
That's
vodka.
eggnog.
No, it's not. I'm telling you, it's a Spanish drink that like they drink. Man, you lucky I can't think of the name of it right
But that's
now.
the one, huh? If you had to drink that's the one you're like, all right, I can stomach this one.
Yeah, because nigga, that shit, you be half drunk before you realize you tasting alcohol. It's so good, bruh. That's the only drink, and I've drank champagne here and there.
Yeah.
But I don't like alcohol still. Like, if you had to give me a choice of weed or alcohol, just give me weed for the rest of my life.
Why weed?
Bro, because it connects with my endocannabinoid system in a very good way. Nah, I said that because I was at the park one day and I said that shit, bro, and the kids was cracking up. They're like, endocannabinoid system, the fuck? But this is a real thing that I learned about. Like, and THC is a good thing for your body.
Sure.
Now, everybody is not supposed to smoke. I don't feel like it's for everybody.
Right.
But
like that's the point I'm making. Like for me, it doesn't. It feels like it almost messes up the circuitry. Like it's distorted, not distorted, but there's like dissonance. You know,
and it also depends on what you smoke. Like if
I'm talking about crack. What are you talking about?
Nah, but it's like if you smoke a sativa plant,
yeah,
you definitely will be more focused. That's the energy it gives you.
That's
to everybody. Yeah. And then like an indica strand is more like kick your ass, kind of lay you back. But somebody like me, I can smoke a whole bunch of indica and go play a basketball for hours.
Interesting.
But that's just something I've been accustomed to doing. But I also played basketball for a lot of years at a high level. I had a really high cardio long before I ever smoked.
Yeah.
So I have that background already. I think some people also just sit on their ass and smoke a lot.
Yeah.
And then feel like they supposed to be able to come out there and match what they used to be and shit. Like, nah, bro, you ain't cutting it no more.
There's some physical things that need to be adjusted.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah. Do you feel not what's the word I'm looking for? Do you feel more uncomfortable not high than high? Do you feel like you're the way you're supposed to feel when you're high, as opposed to sober?
I like my life. I like the way I feel better when I'm high. Like,
okay,
but I can totally wake up and not smoke for a few days.
And you feel like it's life seems the same?
Yeah, like overall, as long as I'm doing something, I do feel more like of a need to do more. Like, get out of the house. I can't sit here.
Which one?
Like, when I'm not high, like I definitely gotta go. Like, have more
so you
fun.
get more, like more hyper, like maybe.
I just have a little bit more energy towards certain things, but that's where my mind is more like racing a little bit more. But I'm good. Like you wouldn't like if I wasn't high, you wouldn't really be like something's off.
Yeah, I'm always curious about that because the way it affects me, I love hearing how it affects other people too. So, I know I've had tons of friends that can smoke all day long, and they just function fine. Like I never bought into growing up. If you smoke, you're just going to be a loser stuck on that. Like I'm like that doesn't reflect what I see around me.
I see people literally get high and go do BJJ and shit like that. Like what the hell?
Or go do work that takes a lot of decision making and leading. Like it's it's
like
a big
shit. Like all of the jobs I worked outdoors, I know a lot of people that smoke. And my thing is, at this point, why the fuck is THC still illegal? It's just something they don't want us to know.
Maybe?
Yeah, money, but I think it's a bigger thing. I think it's really something that was a gift that was given to us to where if it was at least calmed down, where people didn't feel so anxious about it, even the people that didn't smoke, it would be a much calmer world. Like,
that's true.
Marijuana wasn't officially like banned in America until Nixon took office.
Oh, that was the war on drugs?
Yeah. But they have the literal Watergate files. You can look them up, like the PDF, where you can get the quotes where he specifically talks about marijuana is joining the whites and the blacks and the damn Mexicans. And this is not what we're talking about. They even like the Jews now.
Yeah. Wow.
And he said we can't let this happen.
Yeah.
We can't let these hippies hang out with the blacks and tell people this is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Nixon's words.
Yeah. That's what got him what was I'm blanking on the word now. When they remove you from office.
Yeah, impeached. That Watergate situation. There was a lot more he had going on in that, but
that's part of the same.
Of it. Yeah. He like literally was saying this is where the term marijuana came from. Also, the term conspiracy theory came from the Nixon campaign.
Really?
There was never a term conspiracy theory before this. Wow. They had to figure out a way to cover up certain things. There's a story going around that Nixon showed, what was his name? Jackie Gleason, the old comedian actor. He showed him an alien.
Oh, really? Who said that? Gleason?
Gleason, literally, there's a whole story about it, bro, where his wife literally talks about it all because he came and told her, and he's like, I wasn't supposed to see that.
That's so bizarre. He would show Jackie Gleason,
He
but he was a
they were, like,
superstar
really-
back then.
and they were really close though. They used to golf together and stuff.
Yeah.
and Gleason was really into UFOs.
Dude, Nixon was really sloppy about it, wasn't he?
Yeah, crazy guy.
There's other stories about him kind of. I think he might have drank a little much, and he would
exposed Bahamian Grove.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
we
whole
can't even
thing.
say on YouTube what he said about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it because I was about to say it, bro.
Dude, it was, it was the what, 70s, 60s. I mean, I guess you could say that back then without any issues. But
Well,
man,
nah, he faced some issues. You can't speak on Bahamian Grove like that. That's not even. That's illegal. Nobody
was
even
that
supposed to
also
know this
part of?
exists.
Was that part of Watergate recordings when he said that?
I
Because it was a phone
believe
recording.
I believe it all came out because I heard him physically say that. I heard the tape.
Yeah, it's a phone it's him so you can tell he's sitting in like his office talking
Oh
about
my god! I'm sorry. I really will. We gonna uncut y'all. We gonna have to play this. Nixon was not playing with them boys. He was not happy with that shit they had going on.
it. Man, Nixon. I heard about that because of Alex Jones. That's
Yes.
probably going to get this pulled just saying his name, but Alex Jones mentioned that he just came out on the PB. Was it what's homeboy's name? The PB something podcast. Patrick Bet Davis.
I ain't heard of it.
Oh, you would. I got to put you onto that. So he was on there. Alex Jones just did like a podcast with him like less than a month ago. Dude, it's the stuff he says. It's like I need you to watch it and then we can talk about it because
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen some Alex Jones.
what do you feel? I feel like he would kind of be on like someone you would see a lot of parallels of thinking. Are you not so much?
Yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he had his own agenda after a point.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my theory, but I do feel like ultimately his what he was exposing was extremely important, and nobody was taking it serious.
Nope. Mm-mm.
But that's another story for another day.
It is. We've done a lot to this episode. We're back on track, man.
Yeah, man, we gotta bring that info to y'all.
Yeah, I love when we dive into this stuff. So yeah, man. I guess till next time.
Yay.